said, because I'll knock him on his fucking ass, which I have done in the past. When my husband was relapsing and drinking, he swung at me, and he's one of these like you see on Funniest Home Videos drunk.
Now, do you use heroin?
I have in the past, yes.
This is your public service announcement. Do you know what's going on with heroin right now in Sarasota County?
No.
It's all laced with fentanyl, and it's killing people.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's killing people in droves.
In Sarasota recently, so.
Then you got lucky, because if you use the same amount that you normally use and it has the fentanyl in it, it's going to kill you like that.
Friends, in September 2015, the grandmother of Chance Walsh contacted police stating she hasn't seen the child for weeks. The parents, Kristen and Joseph Walsh, then fled their home in Florida. They drove down to South Carolina, where they were involved in a car crash. This is the car that was crashed. Baby Chance is missing, and the police bring them in for questioning. So in this video, I have the audio-only interview of Kristen. You'll see all the crime scene photos throughout. This is a sickening case with a big twist at the end. The details of the child's injuries are gonna make you sick, but we'll come on to that later. Kristen is first gonna give you details of what was going on leading up to the incident.
That's why she was the first person that I told about what was going on with Chance.
Okay.
And I had to be honest. I needed to let her know what was going on, because they asked me about the car accident. And, well, I called them trying to get home, because we wrecked our car. We had gotten robbed at some point, and we had no money, no nothing. So I had to try to get home, you know. And so I called my stepmom and my dad trying to get home. And they said, well, how's the baby? Is the baby okay? And at first I was like, yeah, the baby's fine. The baby was fine. He wasn't touched, you know. And then I called my stepmom back. I said, Kim, I gotta talk to you. I let somebody take the baby because we didn't have a pot to piss in or anything. And I said, but you can't tell Dad. I got to get home first. You know, when I get off that bus without the baby, I'll explain, you know. And that's when shit blew up in our face. And next thing I know, I got the Hardyville police questioning me and everything else. Okay. So if I had done anything wrong, I sure as shit wouldn't have ever told my family. I would have gotten on a bus, gone home, and went from there. You know what I mean? Yeah. I wouldn't have said something prior to going home. You understand? Yep. So, but right now, my mom and I are probably the closest. I haven't even told my mom the whole story or anything yet. I told her a little bit yesterday, but I haven't really talked to her. My mom is the one who's probably the most heartbroken out of all of this, because my mom, like I said, my mom's probably been to our house since Chance was born, probably I'd say 30 times. Bringing stuff over just to... It's like every other day. Yeah. She'd go to Goodwill and she'd pick up an outfit, or, you know, and later that day I'd be taking pictures of him in it. I mean, stuff being... My mom has gotten so much stuff for him, and none of the other grandparents have. Okay. So let's start. I want to do this by a timeline. Okay. It's the easiest way for me to understand it. Just bear with me, because I'm really bad when it comes to time and memory. Short-term memory, I'm awful. I want to go. Well, this will be easy for you then, because I want to go back to the 7th, which is Labor Day. It's when you went over to your mom's for dinner. Okay. Okay. I guess you and your boyfriend were having an argument then. I'm sorry. It's okay, sorry. You never changed your driver's license, so I know. It won't be the last time I say that, and I apologize. That's my last name, so yeah, I know. Okay. It's okay. You and your husband went over to your mother's house for dinner. We were having an argument with Chance. Too. Yeah. What was that argument over? Because my husband and I started using again. Okay. Because here's the gist of it, okay? We tried to get pregnant with Chance. Okay. We never saw grief counselors. We never talked about it. I'm the kind of person where I talk about everything. I tell everybody everything. To the point where I talk too damn much sometimes. That's me. I can't help it. Jersey girl, Gemini. My husband is the exact opposite. He doesn't tell anybody anything. He keeps his mouth shut. He's not a talker. Okay. When our son passed away, we both handled it in completely different ways. I lost it. He acted like nothing bothered him. He's real good at doing that. He's been hurt his whole life, so that's just the way he is. Well, so we never really touched base on our son passing away, or really, do you understand? We never really healed from it. Well, my bright idea, let's get pregnant and bring a new baby into the world, because a new life is going to give us hope and joy and laughter, and you know what I mean? It'll make the pain go away. it made it worse. It made it way worse. And next thing you know, my husband and I started using.
Okay. Did you use while you were pregnant?
I did at one point, yes.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie, but
All
I
right.
did.
All right. And then, but you kicked it up after he was born.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you, when you say using, what do you use?
All right. Normally I'm on Subutex.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I try not to use. And if you're on Subutex and you use, it's a waste.
Now, is that self-medicated or do you go to the doctor for something?
Self-medicated.
Okay.
I buy it where I can. I can't afford a $350 doctor.
Yeah.
So I
Totally
buy it on
get
the
that.
streets, whoever I can find that sells it.
Okay.
But you were asking what do I use?
Yeah.
My drug of choice is cocaine.
Cocaine?
And I'm a needle junkie.
Okay, so you shoot cocaine.
Yeah, you can see my arms. They're bad. They're real bad.
Mm-hmm. When's the last time you used?
God, I don't know the exact amount of days because my days are all thrown off, but I want to say a few days ago.
Before or after the crash?
After the crash.
Okay. Are you high now?
No.
Okay.
No. I had 2 Percocet 5s this morning that the hospital gave me.
But you don't feel any effects of that? You
No,
feel stone cold sober?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Believe me, if I was even the slightest bit buzzed, I'd tell you.
Okay.
I've always kind of, I've had the person out, okay, that one's a lightweight. He could take one hit of a joint and he is freaking wasted.
Mm-hmm.
I could smoke 3 joints in a row and my eyes will tell you I'm stoned, but the rest of me won't.
Now, do you use heroin?
I have in the past, yes.
This is your public service announcement. Do you know what's going on with heroin right now in
No.
Sarasota County?
No.
It's all laced with fentanyl, and it's killing people.
Are you
And
serious?
yeah, it's killing
And
people in
I've used
droves.
it in Sarasota recently, so.
Then you got lucky because if you use the same amount that you normally use and it has the fentanyl in it, it's going to kill you like that. So,
believe me, I get through this and I get home. My first thing is to try to get clean.
well, I'm not totally unreasonable because you're going to fall off the wagon. Okay.
Probably.
So please.
No, thank you for the public service announcement.
Yeah.
That's not my drug of choice. I can't stand heroin. And the last few times we bought it, it was like shooting up pepper. My husband actually really thought it was pepper. And I kept trying to tell him if it was pepper, you'd be dead, dude.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you pay in Sarasota, you pay $20 for a bag of heroin, and it's maybe that thick.
Mm-hmm.
And you get one shot and you don't feel anything. Like I have a high tolerance, so I can do bag after bag after bag, whereas you can't.
Okay. Well, we'll get off the heroin now.
So yes, Coke is my drug of choice. On hard or soft, I don't care. However I can get it, I can break it down and put it in a needle. Okay.
All right. And so you were arguing over drugs on the 7th.
Because my husband had used and I thought he was using behind my back and we were arguing about it. I'm almost positive that's what the fight was about. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure it had something to do with that. Okay. Like I said, my short-term memory is shit.
Now, your mom mentioned that he was very, possessive of the baby. Was that...
My husband was like that with Dwayne, too.
Well, more so, she took note of it because it was more than usual.
He's like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's an example. The night before Dwayne passed away.
Yeah.
I was feeding him a bottle, and my husband's he's not controlling because he's an amazing man when he's not doing dope.
Mm-hmm.
But I was feeding my son a bottle, and the nipple kept collapsing, or it was leaking, or something was wrong with it. And it was pissing me off and driving me nuts, and I had a short patience. Bad.
Yeah.
So, of course, my initial idea was, fuck this bottle, give me another bottle, pour it in there. Don't switch bottles, just give me the baby. I got it. I know how to do it with that bottle. Mm-hmm. No, I want to do it. He ended up giving the baby. Mm-hmm. So he took the baby. I was pissed off at him. I went to sleep. That's just how he is. He was married for 10 years. His ex-wife had, I think, 4 kids. They had 3 together. Mm-hmm. So he's got a longer history of raising kids, whereas I don't.
Okay.
So rather than, here, baby, this is what you do, he'd rather just take control. Rather than arguing about it or telling me how to do it. Or
getting frustrated and pissed off about it.
Because now with my first son that I gave up for adoption when he was a year old, and I'm not proud of this, but it's the honest to God's truth, I was a good mom. But I lost patience all the time. He would wake me up in the middle of the night. I'd start screaming at him, would you just shut the fuck up, please? Mm-hmm. And I'm crying. And With Dwayne, that never happened. And it was because he always took care of the baby.
Now, how about with Chance? Did that happen with him?
Chance, I did yell at him a few times
Mm-hmm.
because of what I was going through. And that's when my husband would take over.
Okay.
So he likes to take over and take control before I get in that scenario. I am bipolar too, so my husband also knows me very well.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows based on my mood whether I'm going to get there or not. So prior to that happening, that's when he takes over.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's a very good dad. He's very hands-on. He's the kind of dad that I don't have to worry about, oh, well, you worked all day, so can you help me? No.
Mm-hmm.
He'll work all day and still come home and he'll have the baby all night.
So you went home after the 7th, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
We were fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because I told him when we went in, I was like, please don't let my mom know we're arguing.
Yeah.
But of course, I told my mom.
Well, yeah, and you guys are texting in 2 different rooms. I mean, that's a dead giveaway.
We do that though. Even at home, we do that because my husband's not a talker, whereas I am, but I'm also a writer. So for me, I prefer if we're in an argument, I can't let shit go. And he's the kind of person where you can't keep.
A woman can't let shit go? Really?
But you can't keep hounding this one. You keep hounding him, it's going to escalate and get worse and worse and worse. So the way that I've learned to get over an argument with him is we'll text back and forth, and forth. I'm sorry, but I didn't mean it. You know what I mean? We'll back and forth, keep talking to each other. And within that half hour, everything's back to normal and fine.
Now, something else big happened on September 7th, right?
September 7th.
Yeah.
I don't remember yet.
Did you get a payout for your insurance stuff?
I don't know if that was on the 7th or not. I don't remember.
Okay.
But we did get a payout for.
How much was that?
Oh God. I'm the same girl that I can ask my husband exactly how much money we have, and 10 minutes later I completely forget. I'm trying to remember.
It's 3,000 something, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roughly, like I said, I don't know the exact amount. I literally, like, when he would get off of work and make tips, I'd say, how much did you make? He'd literally count it out, show me. 20 minutes later, how much did we have again? Like, I'm kind of a...
So on September 9th, then, was the next time somebody contacted you and your dad came over. Probably remember that because it was probably the only time he came over.
I think so, but I don't remember if that was when my dad came over and left his business card or if that was when my dad came over and fixed my cable. I don't remember.
It's when he came over and took a picture with Chance in the driveway and he had a little camo onesie on.
Yep, okay, now I remember. Yep.
So when was that?
Because Joe was in a pissed off mood and I went outside to see my dad.
Okay.
I brought the baby outside with him, yep, absolutely. And I told my dad that we had used a couple times and that I was stressed out about it.
What was Joe pissed off about that day?
I don't remember, honest to God. I don't. We're married. We have little tips all the time. So to ask what the...
Your mom came over later.
Did she?
On the 9th.
I don't remember. I really honestly don't remember.
You had a pretty good texting battle with her. It wasn't the big texting battle, but it was a small one.
I remember I got in an argument with my mom. Oh, I know what it was. My mom had said something. She thought that, she came over and wanted to see us and we didn't answer the door. That one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and she kept saying that's what it was. She kept saying that she didn't believe that I wasn't home.
No, not that one. It was before that. We'll get to that one in just a minute.
I don't remember that one then. I remember the one about her not believing we were home and she thought she wanted to see Chance and I and make sure that we were alive and okay and not beat up. I remember that, but I don't remember the one you're referring to. Why would she think you were beat up? Because my mom, this is when me and my mom got in a fight. Mm-hmm. And I only just spoke to her the other day since then because I was very pissed off about it. Everybody has a past. Mm-hmm. All right. I've got a past. I've not been in trouble with the law in over 10 years. I like to keep it that way. My husband's been in trouble with the law. He has several batteries on his record. Okay. Well, my mom decided to look up his record and assumed because Joe and I were in an argument that if I didn't come outside or whatever, that he might have hit me or something. And I already told my mom when I went over there the night that we were eating. Mm-hmm. I even showed her. I said, "You see all these rings on?" Pardon my language. I said, "This motherfucker ever gets to that point?" I said, "You don't have to worry about him knocking me out." I said, "Because I'll knock him on his fucking ass." which I have done in the past.
Mhm.
When my husband was relapsing and drinking, he does not drink at all anymore for that reason. But when he was relapsing and drinking, he swung at me, and he's one of these like you see on Funniest Home Videos drunk.
So on the 9th, your mom came over, and you looked out and said, "Oh shit, mom's here."
I don't remember.
And then you didn't answer the door.
I don't remember that at all. I wouldn't have, if I was avoiding somebody, I would not have looked out the window.
Your mom can hear a mouse fart.
I know.
She's got some ridiculous hearing.
She does. I used to cuss her out as a kid.
But she was certain. You said, "Oh shit, mom's here." This was the same day that your dad came over and took a
Right.
picture in the driveway.
Right.
But you wouldn't answer the door for her.
Probably just because me and Joe might have been talking or arguing, and we just did not feel like dealing with anybody at the time.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he might have told me not to answer the door.
And then that caused her concern.
Right?
And that's when she came back the next day,
Okay.
right?
I believe so. And that's when we got in the argument.
Mm-hmm.
Because she had said, I know his record and I know his past, and I just want to see that you guys are okay. And I sent her a picture of Chance and I.
Mm-hmm. Were you home that day? You just didn't want to deal with
I
her?
just didn't want to deal with her because he was pissed off at the fact that she had brought all that shit up.
Where was Chance that day?
He was there with us.
Okay, because she said she was banging like the popo bangs on the door.
She was.
And Chance didn't get
He was
alarmed
sleeping.
or cry or
He
anything?
was sleeping in the other room.
Well, it's a pretty small place.
My son, I've always been the kind of mom. Dwayne was the same way. Like the night I brought Dwayne home from the hospital, I literally vacuumed right next to him and he didn't wake up. Mike, the whole time I'm pregnant too, I'm very loud. I'm a loud talker. I yell. I have a temper.
The problem I have with the car is that there absolutely was no extra room in that car at all.
There was. Just after the accident, shit got thrown everywhere. But yeah, there was plenty of room for the baby. Absolutely.
All right. Who's been in contact with you other than your family?
That's it. I haven't been in touch with anybody.
How about Diane?
Diane, yeah, she's the one that paid us for the.
Mm-hmm. You've been talking to her at all?
I talked to her once. Yeah, I called her.
What'd she say?
I called her and asked her if she could help us after the accident, and she said she couldn't.
Did you talk about anything else?
Not really, no. I don't think so.
Talk about the police at all?
No, I hadn't even seen the police yet.
Have you talked to Diane Wood in the last couple of days?
No, the last time I spoke to Diane Wood
Mm-hmm.
was after the accident. That was before I called my stepmother.
So how did you find out that the police were searching the house?
That was because his mom said that our apartment looked great.
Looked great?
That was yesterday. She texted us and said that our apartment looked awesome, I think she said. And I asked him, I said, what the hell was she doing in our apartment? And that's when I asked my stepmom, I said, who was in my apartment? I probably have asked her this 5 times. Who was in my apartment and why? And when I first asked her, she said that they were looking for Chance. And I said, who was looking for Chance?
Mm-hmm.
She never answered me. And then last night when I asked her, she said that I never had that conversation with you. I said, yes, you certainly did. You said that they got permission from my landlords, which I find hard to believe because they were in Romania.
Mm-hmm.
And that's as far as answers I've gotten.
Well, we were in the house.
Okay.
And there was some things that were kind of concerning in the house.
Like what?
Like blood spatter that was in the bathroom.
That's from me shooting up. The needle gets clogged and I try to get it unclogged and it sprays everywhere. That's me.
How does it get clogged?
Because when you're trying to shoot up and you keep trying to get the same spot,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not shooting right into the needle, if you don't finally find a vein fast enough, it'll clot.
Okay.
So my husband yells at me for this all the time. I have a very bad habit of doing it. You sit there and push it. You can't get the plunger to go. If you can't get the plunger to go, when you do pull back, you're not going to have anything go in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd sit there and push and push and push until finally it would go and go everywhere. I'm really bad about that.
Did the needle come off when that happened?
No. No, it
Just blows
blood
out the
comes
end.
through the end, yeah. And my
Okay.
blood splatters everywhere. That's me.
Now, would there be any reason for Chance's DNA to be part of that blood?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Would you be willing to give your DNA to
Absolutely.
rule that out?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. No, I'm a very bad junkie. You saw my arms.
Well, let me do that real quick. And I can't undo what happened.
Mhm.
All right, we can't do that. But what we can do is we can minimize the effects from now going forward.
Mhm.
We've got a group of people going to Augusta right now because we've already made contact with a person in Augusta
Mhm.
who you tried to sell a breast pump and some baby clothes to.
Mhm.
And they told us that you told them what? Do you remember your conversation with them?
I don't.
Why are you selling these things? Because your baby died 3 weeks ago?
That's not what I said. And I explained that to the Hardyville police the other day too.
So everyone else in
I
the
don't
world
breastfeed
is
anymore.
everyone else in the world's lying about
No,
this
I told
except
our
for
son
you.
had passed away. Yes, I did. I have his urn with us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I had said. Was our son had passed away.
3
But
weeks
other than
ago.
that, no, that's not what I said. I did not tell anybody 3 weeks ago. No, I did not. And I told the Hardyville police the same damn thing. They asked me the same thing, and I said, why would I tell the same person that has my son that my son passed away 3 weeks ago? That doesn't even make sense.
Well, it does if that's what happened.
My son didn't pass away. My son was left with somebody to be taken care of because I couldn't take care of him.
So
Correct,
how
I
did
understand
how did everything pan out?
Because the person we told them had our son, they found. And now she's the one that's saying that she doesn't know where our son is.
So the same person you sold those clothes and breast pump to is the same person that you gave chance to?
No, I didn't sell a breast pump and clothes.
Did you give one away to somebody?
No, it's still in my car.
Did you try to sell that stuff at one point?
At one point I did.
Was
That's
that
why
the
we
same?
brought it because I don't breastfeed anymore.
Was that the same person who you gave chance to?
Yes.
So that is the same person. The one you tried to sell that stuff to is the same person that you gave chance to.
Yes. Yeah, I don't breastfeed anymore. That's why we brought it with us so that we had something that we could sell if we needed more money.
Okay. So the Hardyville police didn't check everything out if Chance wasn't found because I never would have been up here.
Okay, well, they said that everything we told them checked out. The lady that we told them had the baby. They said she obviously gave us a false name and that I should have gotten ID and all this stuff, and I understand that. But they said that all checked out.
So now Chance is in the wind, and no one knows where he's at because these people are lying and said that they don't have him. Is that right?
Right. So the last person that was with him is now saying that she didn't have him. So now that's what I was telling them is she needs to be investigated then because she's the one that had my son. So where he is now, she knows where he is. And that's why I said I was going to make my way back down south and I was going to try to find her because she knows where my son is and she needs to figure it out.
So if you were to take a polygraph, you know what polygraph is?
Mm-hmm.
If you were to take a polygraph and be asked the question asked a couple questions. Is your son still alive?
Mm-hmm.
And did you give your son to the same person that you tried to sell that breast pump to?
Mm-hmm.
How would you do on that polygraph?
Okay.
Would you be willing to take it?
If it came down to it, yeah. Right now, we need to find my son.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get a hold of this person and we need to go from there.
But your son was not seen at the red carpet inn.
My son was at the red carpet inn with us. I was the only one that went into the lobby. My son was in the car with my husband.
You sure about that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you're sure that you're the only one that went in?
Yes.
On both times?
Yes.
And you're the only one that went in when you checked out?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how come no one there recalls seeing a baby with you guys?
We checked in late at night and we checked out. I mean, he was with us. He was loaded into the car with us and he was with us.
So look in my shoes now, okay? I have a child that wasn't seen at the hotel by anyone. I have no pictures that were taken on a family vacation. I've got neighbors and friends of yours saying that they've asked about the baby because they haven't seen him in a while, and you've told them that you were a sitter. I have a lady over in Augusta that says that your baby died 3 weeks ago. And everyone else is creating this conspiracy.
That's not what I'm saying.
In multiple states.
That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying my son has always been with me. My son was not with a babysitter. My son was always with me. And when I checked into the hotel, I was the one that went into the lobby.
So why would, again, a complete stranger, I can see them saying, yeah, I'll watch your kid because you got to go do something, right? And then you not show back up for a few days, because if you had asked me as a stranger, hey, can you watch my kid for a little bit, I'd think a couple hours, so you go to dinner, maybe overnight. If worse comes to worse, by the second day, I'd be calling the police going, I got this kid, and the parents never showed back up. But not only did that not happen, but then the person who was located by the Hardyville police, they tell them that they, in fact, were never given a kid. And not only that, but the person who they talked to said that their child died 3 weeks earlier.
That's not what I said. I said our son passed away. That I said. And I was referring to Dwayne.
Oh, it was very specific that it was 3 weeks before.
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Did Chance die in an accident?
No.
Was Chance killed?
No. 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 Everything I've told you has been true.
Chance was not at the red carpet.
Yes, he was.
He was not there.
Yes, he was. He was. I'm telling you, he was. I asked this lady to take care of my son because we had lost everything, and I had no way to take care of him.
So neighbors and friends asked you where Chance was, and he was at the babysitter. Which there is no babysitter. Right?
Chance was not babysat.
Is there a babysitter?
No.
Okay. Has anybody babysat Chance before?
No.
Never, ever. Not once. Okay. So, I have more than one person telling me that you specifically told them that Chance was with the babysitter. That never happened.
No.
And you never told a lady that Chance died 3 weeks ago.
No, I did not. I said our son passed away, yes.
I understand that. But they were very specific about 3 weeks ago.
No.
I'm not talking about Dwayne and the other. Yes. So what we have here then is a multi-state conspiracy against you, who no one really has a dog in the fight, and no one is upset with you or has a vendetta against you.
I understand that.
It makes absolutely no
Maybe she
sense.
misunderstood what we were saying, but I never once said that my son passed away 3 weeks ago. That I did not say.
So where's Chance now?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know where my son is. That's why I'm trying to help you guys. If I wasn't, I would have ran. I would have left the state. I would have. I understand what it looks like, but what I'm saying is I didn't think I was doing anything illegal.
Mm-hmm. So you know exactly what it looks like.
I understand what you're saying. Our son is missing. I'm going to ask the Hardyville police if they'd issue an Amber Alert.
Can't do an Amber Alert unless it's somebody takes the baby. I'm sorry, there's criteria. It doesn't meet the criteria. Fact of the matter, though, is your car was packed to the hilt with stuff. Mm-hmm. And there wasn't room to put a car seat in there.
Yes, there was. There was absolutely room to put a car seat. Our shit's all over the place now from the accident, but yes, there was plenty of room. I could have sat in the back seat. The only thing we had was clothes, toiletries, and our paperwork.
When you were talking about earlier about when you guys were just kind of planning your trip, when did you guys start that? Just kind of, when did you figure out we're going to take a trip?
Very spur of the moment, I'd say a couple of days prior.
Just a couple of days.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we've always talked about wanting to take a road trip, but maybe I say a couple days to a week before. I'm not sure the exact day or whatever, but we've talked about it before in the past, and we just kind of started talking about like where we wanted to go and things like that.
So that's the end of her first interview. I'm going to show you her second interview where she's going to confess. But let me tell you what actually happened. Joseph, for whatever reason, the baby was pissing him off. He shoved a baby wipe down the child's throat. It then gets stuck. So what does he do? He grabs a pair of pliers. You see the pliers in the picture? Shoves it down the baby's throat. It cuts his liver, somehow snaps his spine. He also ends up with a broken jaw, some cracked ribs, and a cracked sternum. So clearly this child was being abused beyond this moment. The child eventually dies. They leave him in his crib. Kristen and Joseph then were wondering what to do, so they loaded the child into this minivan and buried him. That's when they fled to Carolina, had a car crash, made up a story about giving the girl away to some woman who was going to hold her for her. What a stupid story, huh? What kind of excuse is that? Muppet. But of course, police aren't believing this story. They're now going to bring in Kristen again for questioning. She's going to confess to you everything that happened. The audio this time isn't so good, but you can still hear what she had to say.
I will tell you everything, the entire story, believe me, we got a long enough ride.
Is he still alive? That's all I need you to honestly answer it. I know, that's all I need you to honestly answer it. And I will do everything I can to make everything else happen. Okay. Okay. And we knew that, okay?
I know.
But that's why it's important that we stop the looking, and it's everyone. You know what I mean? It's people have rallied.
I know.
Okay? And that's what I think, how you can sort of control how you're seen.
I didn't do anything wrong. I can tell you that
I
much.
believe that too.
No, wait. It is wrong by the fact that I lied to you guys. I was scared, okay? I was scared. Joe and I never sat down and said, okay, well, if this happens, this is what we say. And he said a couple different things to the point where I was like, I even said to him about a week ago, or whenever, I don't know, I told you my times and days are all fucked up right now. I don't even know what fucking day it is or the date. But I said to him, I was like, dude, so if anything happens, which fucking story am I supposed to say? You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to say now. I tried to protect him. I tried to fight him to the best of my ability. I got punched upside my head that night, and it still to this day hurts me right here. I had a lump like this fucking big for like 2 weeks.
Or Wednesday. Because I think it was
yes,
early.
Wednesday was the fight, and then he acted crazy. The very next day is when Chance passed away.
Okay, but from a result of
Yes.
the things we heard.
Yes.
Did you guys realize immediately that he passed away?
No, I laid there trying to perform CPR on him. Let me tell you, you ever fucking tell me I don't love you again, or you ask me if I don't love you, you're a fucking moron. I said, because all I would have had to do was make one phone call. That whole night, when all that shit was taking place, you know where I was? I was sitting on the floor by the window and by the air conditioner, that wall. I was sitting on the floor like this. Do you know how I had him recording? That was under the mattress. Okay? That was after he'd already hit me in the head. Several times I jumped on his back. I tried to pull him away. I tried to grab my son and get him away because I was just going to run out the fucking front door. I could not get away. I could not. And then after everything happened, now I was even more terrified to go running out that door because the one time that I did about a week prior when Chance was still alive, the one time I did, he came after me. And I fucking turned right back around. I'm sorry, please don't. And I'm sure you heard me in that thing too, going, I'm sorry.
It sounded like a very violent situation.
Yes, it was.
But
see, the fucked up part was he would not, he hit me the one time upside my head, but that's what I don't understand. And you know, he actually said this afterwards. I said, I feel like a horrible piece of shit mother because I couldn't even protect my son from you. And I said, I was so afraid that you were gonna kill me because I know you've heard it in the recording. He said several times, I'll fucking kill you too.
All of you.
I'll kill all of you. And I'm sure you also hear in the recording, just fucking kill me. Please just fucking kill me. Because I couldn't take what was going on, but I was terrified to move or leave. And then even the night that dope dealer came over, like I said, he never came to our door.
But back to this was like at 3:30 in the morning or something.
Yeah.
That's when Chance died. That's when Chance died. The reason I say that is because of what you can hear in the video and you even voicing concern for what he was doing and what he was going to do.
I kept saying, you're going to kill him, stop, you're going to kill him.
How, I know you're not a doctor, but you pretty much know what he did. What would you say caused his death?
Honest to God, what I think caused his death. Okay, did you hear in there what got stuck in his throat?
What got stuck in?
In my son's throat.
No.
Okay, this is what I think caused his death. All right. I was staying away from Joe. Like I said, I was hiding between the bed and the wall. All right, because he would stay away from me. That's why you heard the music so prevalent because it was right next to where I was. All of a sudden, after everything else that had been going on, the slapping and everything else that I know you guys heard, he came running out of the bathroom with the baby in his hands. And Chance was blue. He had at one point, he had held the binky up against his mouth so hard that it cut his lip, or I don't even know because I stayed away. Right? Those 2 days, I really did not even get to touch him. Like, I don't know if you heard in the recording, I don't know what all was recorded, what wasn't. If you heard me saying, please just let me hold him. He's my son too. Just give him my baby. But he got a baby wipe. He was wiping out his mouth. This is what he told me. I was, again, nowhere near him. And he came running out. And he calls me Sing. He said, Sing, help me. Oh my God, he's not breathing. It's stuck. I got it stuck. And I said, what? He said, the fucking baby wipe. Help me. And he just kept screaming frantically. I at that point ran towards the bathroom because he went back in the bathroom with the baby. I ran back towards the bathroom and I immediately just started sticking my fingers down his mouth, just trying to get this fucking baby. How the fuck does a baby wipe get stuck down a 2-month-old baby's throat unless you fucking, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
And I was frantic because I have small hands. I could not get my fucking fingers in there to get it out, and I kept feeling it. And his little mouth was so small, and I was so afraid I was going to break his jaw or something trying to get it out. And he says, get me the pliers. Of course, the only pliers I have are these really piece of shit. I'm sure he found them pliers, like barely open. And he was trying to reach in there with the pliers because now he's fucking scared. Now he knows that he almost just killed our son.
Mm-hmm.
He's reaching in there with the pliers, trying to get that, and he's saying, you gotta open up his mouth. I'm like, I'm trying, I can't. And I think at that point he had clipped because I noticed after I finally did get the thing out of his throat. But I noticed after that, under here was cut.
Oh, the thing that holds your tongue down.
I don't know if it was that or, I don't know if it was that or right next to it, but I believe it was from the pliers trying that because he was frantic. You can't see inside a 2 months old.
How many days did you keep Chance before y'all buried him?
It was almost a week.
We needed some time.
Yeah,
I know you had cadaver dogs in my
Yeah, and
house.
where
I'm not
was he?
Where'd you keep him?
He was in the crib,
Mhm.
which I also was thinking about this too. There were no sheets on the crib, were there?
Mhm.
He was in the crib, and then Jill got the idea of wrapping him up with garbage bags because I said he was starting to smell. You need to get him out of here. You need to do something. I can't live like this. You're killing me. And of course, he was covered up because I couldn't. I had to go in there, and Joe put him in the garbage bags, numerous garbage bags. I don't even know how many. I remember at one point saying to him, "I don't understand how it can smell so bad when you've got him in so many garbage bags. I know you can still smell that smell in my apartment."
And
Where within your apartment did he put him?
In my laundry basket, in the closet.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at, because we knew specific.
You can smell. I know.
Well, where we can't, a cadaver dog
I know.
can't.
Tell me about the bucket that was outside. Was he ever put in that bucket?
No, he was never put in anything. He was just put in the like I said, the laundry basket. After he was in the crib, he wrapped him up in the garbage bags and he put him under the crib.
Okay.
Wonder if the bags were ever put in the bucket?
Or was the bucket used to take him to pressure out?
No, he was in our laundry basket. In fact, if you run surveillance on that day, you will see, I think it was, I don't know what exactly day, Thursday, Friday. I don't even remember which day we buried him. I try not to remember that shit.
Okay.
See, I've been sitting here thinking about all this, and I knew you guys were going to find everything out.
Yeah.
And my friend Kelly in Gainesville, we didn't have the baby with us. And yeah, I know. I already planned on telling you guys all this, but I wanted to get home first because I was told that they would extradite us together. And there's no way I could look that man in the eyes without him knowing I'm lying.
Understand that.
And I don't want to go to prison for the rest of my life. I didn't hurt my son. I didn't. The only thing I did was not saying anything and not coming forward, but I was scared for my own life. You could clearly hear in that thing, "I'll kill you both. I'll kill you both."
So that's the end of the 2 police interviews. Let me clarify some things and then I'll tell you the outcome of this case. Number 1, in case you missed it, Kristen did have a child before. His name was Dwayne, but he died of sudden infant syndrome. Or is it sudden infant death syndrome? You know what I mean. It seems she also mentioned she had another child that she gave up for adoption. The reason why the police questioned her about the child in Carolina is because when the police saw the car that was crashed, there's no way a car seat would have fit in there given all the stuff that was in the car. Of course, the suspect said the child was with them in Carolina, but the police knew there's no way the child could have gone with you. You left the child in Florida. To which eventually she confessed the child was murdered and then they buried the child. Kristen took her own life in prison. She took a plea deal. They offered her 25 years, but then she died. Joseph was sentenced to 45 years in prison. It seems, in this case, justice was served. Comment, tell me what you think.